Hello, beautiful being. So, I want to talk about something today. I want to talk about the one thing that's really going to get you through all the stuff that's happening on the planet. We have a global pandemic happening that doesn't seem to be shifting very quickly. We have fires and intense storms, hurricanes. We have polarity, people just really holding their sides and not wanting to be an allowance or see the other sides. We have war. We have refugees. We have people's way of existence being like wiped out. And we have social media that reports all of it to us. Okay. So it's not like this is all new stuff on the planet. Like we've had a lot of, transitions in history of the planet, right? But this is the first time in history that we've had social media reporting to us from every avenue of the globe what is happening. And it can be overwhelming as well as completely devastating, right? And put us into a very intense sense of fear. Would you agree? Yeah. So I want to talk about the number one thing to work on right now, to not only be a contribution to your life so you can actually focus on what you need to be focusing on, but that you can be a contribution to your family, to your neighborhood, to your state, to your country, to your world, to your universe. This one thing makes all the difference. And it seems really simple. It seems too simple. But it works because we are in a quantum reality. We are in kind of a holographic universe. And this one thing works because it dominoes effects out. It's kind of like I study sound healing a lot. When you make a sound, the reverberation goes out, right? And something needs to be resonating, that frequency. I'm losing myself here. Um, so, how can we take the stone? You can think about this too in water. Take a stone, drop it in the water, and see those rings come out. Now, if you're willing to do and cultivate this one thing, that's your stone. And guess what happens from there? The rings reverberate out. And whoever's ready to be a resonating chamber for that will have that energy too. So when we change something for ourselves, we're not only changing it for ourselves. There's the ripple out effect and the quantum effect that you can change energy by changing energy, right? So one of my teachers in the field of access consciousness said that when you're doing a process that I've trained in called access bars, when you're doing that, if someone is going through kind of the same energetic thing that you're going through and you release it, you actually release it for every person who's gone through that. And maybe it's the beginning of that release, but you're releasing the energy valve, right? You're releasing stuff. Now, if we live in a vibrational universe and we accept that we are vibrational beings, that when we release electromagnetic frequency from ourselves, that in the quantum universe, we would release that energy everywhere. So the work that you do in the world to shift your vibration is shifting the vibration for everyone that's working that out. Isn't that cool? So what is this number one thing? It's inner peace. Cultivating and working on your inner peace is going to do an amazing thing for our planet right now. For the people at war, for the people who are sick, for the people who are confused, for the people who are angry. If you are willing to work on your own inner peace, you are going to make a huge impact on the planet right now. Now, some people might say that that's selfish, that's self-centered. And I would say, don't listen to those people. Do they have inner peace? What are they doing to change the world? There's a lot of people in doing mode, right? They're reacting out of fear and they're doing. And they're doing good things, right? They're clothing people, or they're helping sick people. They're running over to other countries who need support, right? But where are they functioning from? Wherever you are doing a do from, you are increasing that energy on the planet. So if you are reacting from fear, you're creating more fear, even though the short-term effect looks like you're helping the situation. Isn't that interesting? So whenever we're wanting to help outwardly and act out a do, see if you can come from inner peace first, come from a sense of trust, come from a sense of tolerance and allowance, and then act from there. You know, anger and fear, they get us kind of being like, I want to do something. I really want to do something to help. And that's an awesome energy, right? It gets us up in activity. But don't make a move or a decision to act from there until you've worked on raising up from fear, raising up from anger, and come into a different belief set that I can make a difference. I feel at peace with this, and I'm going to help now. That is the most potent way to help. Because when you take action from inner peace, you're cultivating inner peace with that action. If you're taking action from fear, you're going to cultivate fear with that action. Energy follows energy. Doing is an energy. The feeling is an energy. So what do you want to place on the planet right now with all the things that are happening? You know, it's challenging, and it takes some commitment and it takes some discipline to work on your own inner peace first, to shut off the social media, to shut off all the things, the overwhelm that could be coming in your feeds and on your news stations and everything like that. Like, it's seductive. But guys, it's seductive for a reason, because they make headlines and they make these things seductive so that their rates go up. So they get seen. So, like, you know, you can see it on YouTube, right? How many times do people create just the right title to get you in there, or thumbnail, right? It's just a mild form of manipulation, right? But would you be willing to see beyond the manipulation and feel the energy of what you're viewing, looking at, headlines, and before you click on it or watch it, would you be willing to pause and say, is this the energy I want to be cultivating on the planet? Will this help me cultivate more inner peace? And if so, click the play button. Click it on. But if you're pretty sure that it's just going to spiral you down into fear and anger and blame and shame and disempowerment and hopelessness, it takes some discipline and commitment not to click on it. We get curious. That's part of our human nature. We're curious. We see an interesting, like a provocative headline, and we're like, oh, what is that? I do it every day. So let's do this together. Want to? Let's do this together, where we can say, whoa, what's the energy of this show, of this headline, of this news, of whatever it is, whatever we're going to take in. You know, what is the energetic? What am I aware of here? Is it going to lift me up, or is it going to pummel me down? And if you have the awareness that it's just going to be heavy and pummel you down, have the discipline to say, I'm not going to do that. And that is a step toward cultivating inner peace in here and out there. The microcosm matches the macrocosm. Macrocosm, microcosm. We're mirrors for each other. So what can you do to mirror inner peace outward? It's a really, really important thing. So as you go about your day, parenting kids, doing your career, being an entrepreneur, going out and exercising, going food shopping, everything we do, going to the doctors, the dentist, right? Giving a gift. Here we go. We're out in our lives being human beings in this age of 2021. What energy are you going to be? The energy that you be is going to affect everything that you're walking into. Driving your kids to school, making your TikToks, talking to people on LinkedIn, writing your emails, talking to patients, clients, doing proposals, going to school, whatever it is. Talking to your elderly parents, talking to your little kids, talking to your neighbors. Do you want to give the gift of peace? Or do you want to give the gift of triggered, being in fear, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious? Because whatever you be, you're giving. So wrap it up in a bow. Wrap yourself up in a bow and say, here's the gift of me today. And what is that? Is that going to plant a seed of hope, positivity, possibility, and peace? Or is it going to plant a seed of anxiety and stress and fear and anger in someone? I don't know. I think that's a good question to ask. This is how I work. This is how I think. I'm like, okay, so what would it take for me to get into a state of inner peace? What would it take to wrap myself in a bow and be like, whatever I go into today? So today what I have going on, I drove kids to high school. I just interacted with my older teen, and I have to go do music to a whole slew of memory care Alzheimer patients. I have to do music for them. And then I'm going to, my friend's giving me a birthday celebration. So I'm going to go see her and her husband, who I haven't seen them in like a month or two. So it's like, what do I want to give them? Do I want to give them my stressed out, fearful, overwhelmed self? Or do I want to give them something more authentic, which is the deepest nature of me, which is my inner peace, my knowingness, the ecstasy of my infinite beingness? That's the authentic you. A lot of times when we talk about be your authentic self, we think like, just tell people how you're really emoting and feeling right now. It's part of it a little bit. But really what's super, super authentic is being willing to dive even deeper, to commit to your inner peace and the knowing that you are an infinite being of the universe with possibility of so many opportunities, and that you can gift them that seed of peace, that they can see their light of themselves in you, and that you light them up. That's a true gift. That's a true gift. So when I say what's the number one thing that you can do to really start shifting the predicaments of our planet right now, cultivate your inner peace. It's not selfish. It's not self-centered. It's the one thing that you have all control over is your inner peace. So let's do this together. Tie ourselves up in a bow and say, woo, here I come, world. Here I come, giving the gift of peace, inner peace, and allowance. So let's go do that. All right, beautiful people. If you like these kind of messages, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. I go live every Friday here on YouTube. Bye.